Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Let There Be Talk. It is March 14th, and it is episode number 637. You can find all of my podcasts on my podcast network, cactusradionetwork.com. The Grail, At Home with Byron Katie, Dark Fonzie, and of course, Let There Be Talk, all at cactusradionetwork.com. How are you guys, everybody out there? It is a comedian on the show today, not just any comedian, a lifer in the business. Mr. Rich Vos is here, East Coast, New York comedian. Been doing comedy 37, 38 years, right in there. Unbelievable. That is a fucking soldier out there in the world of all these ups and downs. And he's doing it. 64 years old. To me, I thought he was like 58 years old. He's been around forever. And you might remember him from Colin Quinn's Tough Crowd. He's wrote for the Oscars 2 different times. He was the first white guy on Def Comedy Jam. A lot of great comedy talk here. A lot of good music talk and sobriety talk. He's been sober for a long time. Ex-crackhead. We got an ex-crackhead here, Rich Vos. Morning radio voice. Tell me about your problems. Anyway, great guest. Got to sit down and talk to him while we spent a week in Las Vegas doing the Comedy Cellar. And he's a very funny man, a master of crowd work. And him and his wife, Bonnie, have a great podcast, My Wife Hates Me. So check it out. Great guest today. Feeling good. Just went to see John Mayer last night at the LA Forum. This guy is a fucking monster songwriter and guitar player. I've said it over and over. I was an idiot early on with my dumb jealousies of like, oh, John Mayer, he's dumb. And I'll say it over and over and over. Don't have any guilty pleasures. Just have pleasures. You know what I mean? I love this John Mayer new record. I loved his concert last night. All fucking smoking. Thank you, John, for the great night, man. Wow. And it was cool to be back at the LA Forum. I had not been there since I stepped on that stage opening for Bill Burr. And in the world of doing all kinds of stuff every day, 7 days a week, sometimes you forget. And as soon as I pulled into that parking lot, I was like, oh, fuck. I actually performed here. And it made me realize you got to fucking just slow down and enjoy shit. Just be like, oh, that's right. I did this place. What a fucking dream come true. And I walked through the door, got goosebumps. That venue is just iconic. And last night I was thinking, you know what? This is one of the greatest all-time venues, especially after they did the remodel. The sound in there is incredible. The Forum Club, everything about it's just a great rock and comedy vibe. They don't do any sporting events in there anymore. That's why it's fucking great. It's not a makeshift place. It's strictly for concerts and comedy. And man, what a home run that place is. All right. Episode today is brought to you by my boutique guitar builder sponsor, bankerguitar.com. The best handmade guitars I've ever seen. You want a Carina V or Explorer? This is the man you want to talk to. All of the killers are using this man's stuff. Mastodon, Marcus King, Blackberry Smoke, my man Rival Son Scott, everybody is playing these guitars. Find out why. Get on the list. Order yourself a handmade boutique guitar, bankerguitar.com. Tell Matt I sent you. Get yourself a lifer instrument. Get one instrument. Get rid of all your fucking guitars and just get one and make it your thing like Jimmy Page, man. And bankerguitar.com has that for you. All right, let's see. Going to be doing shows around LA all week. If you're looking to see me, no road dates, unfortunately. So I just keep slugging it out, working on new material. You can catch me most likely a few different nights at the Comedy Store and somewhere else around town. I have incredible merch up right now. Oh, there's Gertie trying to get up in my seat. Come here, Gertie. I got Gertie merch. I got the Perry Shaw shirts and the collector item Dark Fonzie shirts at DeanDelRey.com. So get that. And all of you Patreoners. Oh, hold on. I got to get my dog. Come here, Gertie. Oh, man. Thank you for your support. We got a bonus episode coming up, and we're going to do a Zoom Fest this week. So there's over 100-something bonus episodes. Patreon.com/DeanDelRey. Also, I want to tell everybody, if you're a new listener, please subscribe to my YouTube channel or my iTunes, channel, and leave a review. I haven't asked for that in a while, but leave a review and tell a friend. All right, let's get into it right now. Great conversation with comedian Rich Vos.
I'm as ready can be.
Fucking Las Vegas, huh? With Rich Vos on Let There Be Talk. How are you, buddy?
It's Las Vegas. This place stinks. It's freezing here.
It is freezing
Fucking
out.
freezing. I left Jersey for this bullshit.
I went outside to walk the dog. It's fucking freezing out.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. And supposed to play golf tomorrow. It's too cold and windy, and then I'm just sitting here in this hotel. I'm losing my mind. My toes are cold. Maybe I'm not getting circulation all the way to my toes. Would that be it?
Well, you're 64.
Yeah, I know. I think the Beatles wrote a song about me.
I can't believe you're 64, dude. I didn't think you were that old.
Why would my toes be cold? Maybe because the room is freezing? Do you think that could be it?
It's fucking cold in Vegas. It was 2 days of hurricane fucking winds.
We tried to play golf in it yesterday. I was like, let's get the fuck out of here. After 15 holes, I go, this is ridiculous. It's not fun. It's crazy to come out here. You think, it's going to be nice and get away from Jersey. It was warmer in Jersey yesterday than it was here. But, it's great. I get to do a whole 15 minutes on stage. Are
you revealing the glamorous side of our Vegas residency?
It's I went to the supermarket Monday, bought some food. I've been living on cheese sandwiches. I went to the cafeteria this morning, the employees, for breakfast.
Yeah.
And there was no eggs or pancakes. I go, how could there be no eggs or pancakes for breakfast? And it was, what time was it? 8 o'clock. And the guy goes, let me see if they made some in the back. So he did come out with fresh eggs, and he had pancakes stored somewhere. And I'm arguing over food that's disgusting. I'm like going, where's this, in my head, disgusting food that I hate?
Where's the garbage?
Where's this crap? I feel bad for the people that work here because, I've been in casino cafeterias that some of them are fucking amazing. Not amazing, but,
right.
They would cook food to order. You'd go in and say, can I have an egg omelet or turkey, whatever. I'm trying to think if that could have been Harrah's when I worked there. I don't know. The Brigada had a pretty decent employee cafeteria. We're only there for a couple of days. These people got to eat there as long as they work here.
Yeah.
So
well, they used to have the buffet, and we could eat there. And the buffet, they got different levels of buffet. You got the fat people that just go straight over to the fucking fried chicken and everything. But this buffet was really great. They always had fresh fruit. They would have some pretty damn good meats. They would have some good, vegetables.
Oh, yeah, they had really good food at this buffet. I mean, they had like seafood if you want to take a chance with that. Seafood in the desert's kind of scary, but they had the Chinese food. There was something I would get from there that was so good.
Oh, I love those They were like pot sticker kind of balls
Yeah.
and stuff in that steamer bowl.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
shit was great.
Yeah, there was some pretty good food there, and it was free for us.
Yep.
I wonder what the buffet would cost a regular person, like
Dude, I
40
think it's
bucks.
like $28 during the day and like 40 at night.
And I did one cruise in my life. What's the name of those guys? The what do you call cruise?
Jokers?
Yeah, Jokers.
Impractical Jokers.
Impractical Joker cruise. It was like 10 comics or more, and it was great. Like I've never done a real cruise
Whoa.
where I'd be the only comic, hanging from a rafter. But the food on that cruise was open 24 hours.
Yeah.
And you would see some people, they would just pull up in their little electric wheelchairs, and they would have a claw to grab the food,
yeah.
because they couldn't fucking move. And it was like paradise for these people.
Yeah.
They didn't care about the cruise.
No.
They just had
That's all they
24
ever
hours.
talk about. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
You go, well, what were the islands like? Dude, the lemon meringue pie. You could have 2 or 3 of them if you wanted. It's like, you could do
Yes.
that at home, too.
Yeah.
The cruise is like $3,000. Just go spend $3,000 at the store. It'll be the equal amount of food.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it was crazy. The all you could eat fucking pork chops. Really? You try, like I've known comics that have 4 cruises and they become the size of a house.
Yeah. Oh,
You
yeah,
know.
totally, man.
I couldn't imagine being at work 7 days a week with all you could eat, whatever the fuck you want.
That'd be insane.
Yeah, because one, on a cruise, especially a comic by themselves, you're in your cabin, I would imagine. Maybe you'll go work out for an hour.
Yep. Miserable. It is
Miserable.
miserable. So then you keep doing the drive-bys, the buffet. That's what happened to me. I went, my buddy's band was playing. They go, we can get you on free Grateful Dead Jam Cruise
Yeah.
as the tour manager. And they had an ice cream machine, cones there,
Yeah.
like on the, by the shuffleboard or whatever. And I would just do the drive-bys like, yeah, fucking ice cream. I'd eat one, and then 10 minutes later, over and get another cone. Next thing you know, you go, I ate 5 fucking ice cream cones today. You would never do that in real life.
I wouldn't eat 5 ice cream cones in a year almost.
I know. I'm eating 5 a day on the deck.
And
Fucking nuts.
It's that soft, good ice cream, too.
It's great, too. It's that ghetto shit that's just so good, man.
Dairy Queen, it's so fucking good. And it's even better if you put sprinkles on it. Yeah, it's fucking...
I like the dipped ones.
Oh, yeah.
So they got the dip next to it. You dip it in there, and it gets hard on there, like caramel or chocolate.
Oh, I'd rather it get hard in my mouth. Yeah, it's fucking... I couldn't imagine
Yeah.
working... and some of these comics might make decent money on a cruise, and they all have their cruise jokes, I'm sure.
Right.
There was one cruise I heard, they said you're not allowed to do the arms where you bring somebody up and they will put their arms through your arms. You ever see that bit? It's an old vaudeville thing.
Oh, yeah.
You stand there.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they would put their arms through your arms and
Yeah.
you would talk and they would move their arms, And there was comics when in the 80s when I was doing one-nighters or doing whatever, and they would close with it. There was certain, I don't want to say their names, but they would do the hands. We call it the hands. I'm going, are you fucking kidding me? And it was so hacky.
It was already old then.
Yes, it was a vaudeville act from
Right.
back in the day. Abbott and Costello called it hack. Abbott and Costello going, who's doing this shit still? So they're on the cruise. And, I knew a guy that was a great writer. He just gave up and he did cruises. He's probably been doing them for 25 years.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't see your family. You don't see it. I just couldn't. It's like comics I knew. See, you don't have kids, but had kids and would go on the road.
to get away from them.
Well, they go on the road for months or an end. And I'm going, well, what's more important than your fucking kids?
Yeah.
I know you got to support them, but you can't just go away for fucking 2 months. Or comics that lived out of their vans that were just middle acts driving from gig to gig, which, that's the toughest thing on the road now, especially being a middle act.
There's no money now.
There's no money, and the clubs don't put you up, and
I know.
they're just. I don't even want to get into what how disgusting some of the clubs are to comics and
Yeah.
to middle acts. You know, I mean, and also too though, there's a million comics in every town.
Yeah, they'll work for like $20.
Yeah. You got to be good enough or sell enough tickets where you go, I'm bringing my own act.
Yeah, that's the only way it'll happen. You know,
you
because-
got
yeah, or else they're like, sorry, we're using locals.
Yeah. I mean, I get to bring my own act when they don't need a hotel.
Right.
If it's Philly, Connecticut, whatever, New York, Long Island, I go, well, get this middle or get that middle. But I couldn't imagine trying to get. I get emails all the time. Hey, we worked. Can I open for you? Can I do? And I'm like, I would love to. I'll see what I can do. I never, I don't say no to anybody. I just, this girl emailed me through Facebook the other day, and she wrote, "Hey, we worked together. I don't even know where." She goes, "I heard you like to use girls as openers. Let me know if you have anything or whatever." And I go, look, if I can, I will. But I do because it's a different voice, a different perspective.
Right.
Yeah. And plus, it's just, it mixes up the show, So I love having girls open, And I try to help as many people. I worked with this girl. Last time I was in Vegas, I was at the Plaza. And this girl from L.A., Renee Piercy, she was funny.
Oh, yeah, I know her, yeah.
Yeah, she was funny. And
Yeah.
I said to Liz, check this girl out. She's in L.A. So I had her send a tape to Renee. This other girl I work with, Tara, I got her on Dirty at 12:30 here.
Yeah.
She killed, and she got work out of it. So you try to help people, because I remember when I would just wish somebody would fucking help me.
Oh, yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
And people, I mean, Colin Quinn, he put, when he had Tough Crowd, the booker for Tough Crowd, he said, Vos isn't right for this. And Colin goes, are you out of your fucking mind?
Yeah.
And I did 35 Tough Crowds.
Yeah.
The fucking dumb booker. I don't know if he'll do, and that booker, of course, said something at a table at the cellar, and he's out of the business.
Oh. Well, the thing is, man, it's great when you have somebody in the biz that looks out for you and can, like recently I had Judd on the podcast, and he got me on Love on his TV show. I would never be on, without him going, hey, he's great, this guy's funny, he's gonna kill it. You need people like that.
That's how we got into King of Staten Island. I know Pete wanted me and Bonnie.
Right.
He knew our chemistry. He knew us for. I mean, we had to audition, but we were basically had it.
Right.
It's the same when I did Last Comic Standing. I wasn't going to do it, and I got a call. Look, you're in the fucking house unless you have a complete abomination on stage.
Yeah.
Unless you completely fucking tank it, which I knew I'm not going to tank it anywhere. They knew. I mean, everything is casted. Colin with Tough Crowd. Chris Rock has used me a million times, I think. But also, too, you got to come through when people use you.
Oh, yeah, totally. That's the thing.
Through.
I mean, you got to deliver, or else they're like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
Fucking sorry. They're apologizing to the money people.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to crush it. I don't know what. This guy's terrible.
I remember I got a gig. There was a TV show, American Dreams, years ago. It was about American Bandstand in the 60s.
Oh, wow.
It ran 2 years, and I got hired to play Lenny Bruce in a club. I didn't even have to audition. They just gave it to me. I'm doing it, and the star of the show, her and another lady or girl, come into the nightclub, and they go, oh, that's Lenny Bruce, and I'm doing. And during the run-through, I'm going, they're going to fire me. That's how bad I mean, but I know once the cameras come on, I'm going to fucking nail it.
Yeah.
And first, the night before, they sent me the sides, and it was 2 fucking pages of nothing but full paragraphs. I go, I can't memorize this
Yeah,
shit by
basically his
tomorrow.
whole act.
Yeah. How am I going to memorize this? I can't fucking do that.
Yeah.
And I'm up all night. I just started dating Bonnie, I remember. I might even have blown her off in L.A., which, that's when we were just having sex.
Right.
I would come into town or whatever, and then boom, and bye. And I go, I can't memorize all this. I can't memorize a paragraph, you know?
Yeah.
Somehow I get on stage during the day and I'm just fucking, they're going to fire me. And then come nighttime when we're taping, not only did I do this, I didn't do it word for word. I just did it. And I threw in some of my lines.
Right. Ripping in the bullet points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they used some of my lines in the final cut, you know. And the scene looked so cool the way they did it. Cut to me, then something else. And it was kind of cool. But it was so fucking nerve-wracking.
Oh, God.
Now, when we did King of Staten Island, and that's why it's great to work for somebody like Judd who understands comics.
Yeah, he just lets you riff.
You know, and tries to do comedy. I mean, he does comedy, you know. I'm just fucking around. But he let us, I guess, hit the what he wanted, but then he let us ad-lib through it.
Yeah.
You know. And it's the same with an audition. I'm not doing... Not that I go on any, but if I do, I'm just going to do what I fucking want to do.
Yeah.
Because they're really hiring you.
That's what they're doing.
They're not hiring the words. They're hiring you.
Yeah, when Judd had me on Love.
What is Love?
It was a series on Netflix. It was fantastic.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was this weird couple. They live in L.A. They're in the business. It's like you're watching it going like, oh, God, this is so real. And I said, hey, I just figured there was no lines because they never sent me any script or anything. I go, I guess I'm just standing in. Oh, well, at least he had me on. And I get down there, and then he's like, here's the scene. It's a in-store book signing, and you're a weirdo, big fan of the dude. Go.
Uh-huh. Go.
So, yeah. And I'm just like riffing weird shit. The guy doesn't know what I'm going to say. It's totally Christopher Guest kind of style of just, or Larry David. That's what I love about, Curb. They just put ideas up on the board, and they ripped that whole fucking thing.
Yeah, I love Susie Essman on it. Her outfits and everything. She's great. She's great on it.
That show's insane.
Yeah. JB Smooth kills it.
Oh,
he's
dude.
all over the place with the
I
Caesars.
just saw him in my fucking thing right
I know.
there.
I can't leave the fucking casino and see a big billboard of... I used to do urban rooms with him.
Yeah.
And he was so funny. Sometimes I didn't get it.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's great, huh?
He was so funny.
Yeah.
So he was writing for SNL, and he wasn't doing stand-up as much. And we were at Caroline's one night, and he came in to go on. I go to Bonnie, you got to watch this guy. And he really had a tough set because he hasn't been doing it.
Right.
She goes, what the fuck? I go, you just don't get it. He's not, but he's one of the funniest guys I ever worked with back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
He was so fucking funny. And he's so good on everything and the nicest guy in the world
Super cool.
Super cool. That Caesars campaign he's doing has probably bought him, his dumb manager, and two of his relatives a house.
Yeah.
Those commercials, with the.
Oh yeah, he was on the Super Bowl one.
Yeah,
it's fucking big money.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
That campaign for online betting, and online. I mean, I'm bouncing all over the place, but online betting. My friend's wife works for a company that does a bunch of. They pull in $10 million a day profit.
Fuck.
$10 million a day.
That's why those people are massive podcast, advertisers. They're like, we want to run 3 months. Here's $100,000. I'm like, oh man, I need that.
No, please. Yeah, I know a comic that gets them for a lot of money.
Yeah.
I can't even get a fucking, what do you call it?
Shaving.
I can't even get Manscaped.
Yeah,
or
Manscaped.
A fucking Blue Chew anymore. I used to get Blue Chew or Manscaped or
Stamps.com.
Yeah, some dumb shit. I can't get those anymore. We have a decent podcast. I don't know how many, 8,000, 10,000 listeners, but I even said it on our podcast we taped someone. I go, what the fuck? We have no reads. What the fuck are we doing this for?
Yeah. After a while, you start thinking that, right?
I go, why am I doing this bullshit?
What I could do with this time right here? I could be sleeping.
I could be napping.
I know.
What are you kidding me? Trying to get circulation to my toes. I think my feet have to be amputated. That's why I can't look at shit online.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I go, I have it.
Yeah.
Then the next fucking 4 days here, I'm having a panic attack.
Yeah.
Then my heart starts pumping. I go, I'm having a heart attack. I can't tell you how many EKGs I've had on the road. I had one in Vegas. I go, I'm having a heart attack, and I get there and it's anxiety. But, my toes feel okay now. But in the room, they were freezing cold. And I go, am I not getting circulation? There's something wrong. Then I'm going, well, the room is pretty cold.
The room is cold. Fuck yeah. It's cold outside. So, you started in the 80s, man.
Yeah.
I'm 56, you're 64. But I grew up in the Bay Area, and I remember that 80s big boom of comedy that was happening. Like where I was, it was Robin Williams, it was Bobcat, it was this guy Tree, Jonathan, Amazing Jonathan, all these guys, huge.
On my first marriage, our honeymoon was San Francisco, and I did a weekend at the Holy City Zoo.
Wow, there you go.
It was no bigger than this room.
Yeah,
that club. I don't know if you were.
Oh yeah,
it
wasn't around later, but I know the room. It's famous.
Yeah, there was a guy. He from San Francisco. He had a cool act. He wore like a ascot, and he came on like a real rich.
Yeah, like just some fucking Beverly Hills.
It was so really
bougie
funny,
dude.
Yeah, there was some funny guys out of San Francisco. It was weird because the New York acts back then would fly to L.A. The L.A. acts fly to New York. The San Francisco acts would go to Boston, and the Boston acts would go to San Francisco a lot.
Yeah, that's how Bobcat. I didn't even know he was a Boston comic.
Yes.
He was going to San Fran, and then he just decided to do Bobcat, that crazy character. And, I just thought that was him.
Yeah. I worked with him. I worked with Emo. Emo was a great writer. His material, if you just listen without the character, fucking superb writer. And guys like that, Bobcat, the shit he's directed, that fucking movie with Robin Williams.
That guy crushes, dude.
It was so dark, the one with Robin Williams.
Oh, the fucking Shakes the Clown.
I gotta watch that. I heard that's great. I haven't seen that.
I saw him do stand-up. I see him quite a bit. I haven't seen him in like 3 years, but before that, he's heavily in the comedy world. And he came back doing comedy again for a while at the alt rooms. And, And, he doesn't do the character anymore. And he's like, yeah, you don't look the same or sound the same anymore. I think that was his special. But this guy was fucking telling some funny-ass stories and shit.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, this guy's funny, man. I've always loved him.
But a great director, too. And
that's his calling. The weirdest thing was he started directing what's his name? The late night talk show. I forget the guy's name. He was Sarah Silverman's boyfriend.
Oh, Jimmy Kimmel?
Yeah, Jimmy Kimmel. So he started directing that, and he's the one that brought bands on and shit and jump-started that thing. It was dying.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he killed it and then went on to direct films. That's how he got rolling.
I did Kimmel.
Yeah. Comedy stand-up?
Yeah, it was horrible.
Wow.
It was not horrible. It was set up weird. You were on an angle.
Oh, yeah, you were over in the corner there.
In the corner. And right before I went on, they come down and go, take this joke out. You can't do it. I'm like, come on. Right before I go on?
Yeah. Terrible.
Yeah,
now you got to figure out the flow.
Yeah,
Hey, you should have just said, just cut it out.
Yeah, why didn't I say that? I remember doing Keenan, and I had real bad anxiety. I've had anxiety since I was in my 20s, on and off. But there was bouts that was so bad. And I was doing Keenan, and I think I got there like 4 hours early to do TV. They told me to get there. So now I'm just sitting in a dressing room, bouncing off of walls.
Oh, totally.
Bouncing off of walls. Now, then I'm ready to go on, and I'm backstage, and there's some kind of technical difficulties. So I'm standing behind a curtain for 45 minutes.
What?
My heart is pumping.
Oh.
It's ready to just explode out of my chest.
Yeah.
Now, this is an urban audience. It's a black audience. So my intro was supposed to be, our comic was the first white comic on Def Comedy Jam.
Right.
Well, he introduces me. You might recognize our comic from Def Comedy Jam. So now they're thinking fucking, Earthquake is coming out.
Right.
Or fucking Cedric or somebody.
Yeah.
and it's me. I'm like, what? So
They think they've been fooled.
yeah. So now the night before, we're running around town, the Improv, the fact going over the set, just this set day, and I'm on there, and it's fucking, I'm eating it. I'm going, oh fuck this, Plan B. So I go to the audience. I go, look, folks, you got in here for free.
Yeah.
I go, you want to see Martin Lawrence spend $200?
Yeah.
I go, for free, you get me.
Yeah,
I said that during the tape. Then I went to Plan B, and I pulled it out.
Yeah.
I get off, and they're all, oh, that was great. The executive, whatever, it was good. Yeah, because I didn't do what the fuck you told me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, it was, you do shit in this business, TV, whatever, and you're so nervous. And these are the rewards of working so hard, and you're going, I don't enjoy this.
Yeah.
You don't enjoy it. Maybe when you're on, you're finally killing. Like, I watch comics. Like, Bonnie has done so much. She did 3 Lettermans. She did Fallon. She kills on late night because she does jokes,
Right.
Me, I can't do that. I'll get somebody fired because I'll start doing crowd work, or it won't go the way I want, and I'll go, oh, this sucks, or, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And, like, I watched Sean Donnelly on on Fallon, who I love, and he's energetic, he's doing well. And I talked to him, I go, like, I'd be too nervous to do it. I couldn't do it. I could do panel, sit me down, and I'll fucking kill
riffing.
a panel, But I don't want to just go out and do 4 fucking minutes. Someone's getting fired. If I do 4 minutes, someone is going to lose their fucking job because I'm going to fucking go after somebody. I'm going to start doing crowd work on TV.
Yeah. Was that always your style? Like, you started in the 80s. Who were your guys?
Like, who?
Like, who were you watching? I was watching, like, what was that show on Sundays that Cedric won? Or not Cedric, Sinbad. What was that?
Oh,
it's like a big show on Sundays you'd watch it. It was kind of like America's Got Talent, but back then,
I don't know, but he was funny.
Oh, God, yeah.
God, me and Bonnie watched some of his special where he had musicians, drum. I'm going, this fucking dude is super funny.
Yeah. But I mean, I was watching those kind of dudes, and Pryor, of course, and stuff.
When I started, I mean, because I worked right from the beginning somehow. I booked a couple one-nighters. So I booked rooms in my town where I would host, and then I would hire comics. Now, there was guys that booked rooms in Connecticut, Long Island.
Just trade.
And we trade.
Right.
I give them and they, so I got work right from, and then I worked with this guy on the road a lot, Bastille. He was a heroin addict, and I was a freebase addict, so we hit it off.
Yeah,
yeah. I would go on the road for $75 a week to host. I mean, fly to, it was what, $25 to fly, and I make whatever.
Where are you living at home?
Well, I had an apartment. I was just whatever bouncing around, and I used to. I mean, guys when I started that were so great back then. That guys like Joe Bolster, Rob Bartlett was a killer act. This guy Rob Bartlett, he was on Imus for years. I mean, he was major. I remember doing a gig, and I was middling, and Bartlett was closing. Bartlett was the probably most killer act. He was in an improv group, him, Eddie Murphy, and someone else. I think Dave Hawthorne. They were called the Identical Triplets.
Wow.
They had an improv group in Long Island. And Bartlett, he used to do this bit. He'd do a Beatles bit with a guitar, do all the Beatles with a tennis racket as a guitar.
Yeah.
And he would play, and he did Dogs at a Cocktail Party. I mean, these bits slaughtered.
Yeah.
So I was doing a gig with him. It was called Ferns out in Long Island, Ferns. And I was middle, he was closing. And then Friday night he had to do a private show. And I go, Rob's got a middle and you got to go on after him. Well, I got fired Saturday. Like, first of all, there's no way I could follow. I was just some horrible middle.
Yeah, right.
I stunk. I was lucky I could follow the host. I stunk. And so guys like him, Rick Avilas, Charlie Barnett, who did street comedy, he was just famous throughout New York as a street comic. He was up for SNL. He was going to get SNL before Eddie Murphy. They picked Charlie Barnett.
Whoa.
And Charlie didn't know how to read.
Oh,
He couldn't read.
Whoa.
It's a famous, and he got there and he couldn't read the cue cards. He didn't know how to read.
Right.
And took Eddie Murphy instead.
That's a wild story, right?
You know, I mean, I think Eddie would have got famous no matter what.
Yeah.
Because just how good he was in his charisma and his. But yeah, it was Charlie Barnett it was a famous story. It was supposed to be on SNL.
It's weird to watch Eddie's first Carson because he seems like he's like 20 years into comedy. The confidence, the look, he just rolls up, shut up. You know, he tells the audience to shut up. Unheard of, you know?
Well, he auditioned at the Improv in New York. Silva Friedman used to run the Improv. And he auditioned. She goes, nah, you're not right. He's like, fuck you, I'm going to be a star, bitch.
Yeah.
Basically. And he went over to the comic strip and became a comic strip act.
Right.
And, you know, and the rest is fucking history. You know, I mean, even his stand-up now, a lot of it still stands the test of time. You can listen to his shit from 30 years ago or 25, whatever it was. You know, so growing up, even as a kid, when I was in 4th grade, I'm 9 years old, I used to come home from school and listen to this album, Von Meter. He did impression of the Kennedys. His album was called The First Family. And the biggest comic going at the time, #1 album sold, multimillionaire. And the Kennedys were assassinated, and his career was done.
Wow.
You know, even Lenny Bruce walked on stage one night after the saying goes, Von Meter's fucked. Right? So I used to come home from school, but I listened to that, and I didn't realize till later in life, my parents were getting divorced, and that would cover the pain. I would go sit and listen to a comedy album, you know, and I remember with my dad, when he was around, watch Ed Sullivan, guys like Alan King.
Yeah.
I remember Alan King I'm going, this guy's the funniest guy in the world.
Yeah. Smothers Brothers.
Yeah. You know, they would just, and Von Meter, the album. So growing up through life, and then you start getting high and partying. And
Cheech and Chong.
Yeah. Then go up to my friend's room and we listen to prior albums.
Oh, yeah.
Just getting high and going, this is the funniest shit on the planet.
It was. It was crazy, too, where the record would take you so fucking far away.
Yeah.
You put it on, you and your buddy are just sitting there, maybe you're smoking a joint, and then he comes on and he says motherfucker, and you're like, whoa, motherfucker. Crazy.
It's weird that I never listened to Colin like I did prior growing up.
Yeah.
And I loved comics like Steve Landisberg from Barney Miller.
Oh, yeah.
Bob Newhart, Gary Shandling. When he used to host Carson, I thought he was better than Carson at times.
Yeah.
He was the best
fill-in
host.
Totally.
He was so fucking good, Gary Shandling. You know, Brenner was okay, but Gary Shandling,
Well, he had an edge. Gary Shandling had an edge.
Yeah.
And the other guys played it pretty safe.
Yeah, and Gary Shandling, his deadpan delivery.
Yeah.
And you didn't see it coming, and it was just so fucking good. And
that's what I love about Newhart, too.
Yeah.
Just
amazing.
fucking dry. I love dry comedy. I grew up on it.
It was great.
Oh, my God.
Newhart is so fucking fun. His first album, he never did comedy. He just taped his first album.
Insane.
Isn't that? He never did it.
Insane.
He went on and made an album.
Insane.
So, I mean, growing up, I used to work with Hicks a lot. Not a lot, maybe 3 or 4 times, or 2 or 3. But we were kind of friends when I see him. We'd talk. We were at Catch a Rising Star one night. It was a club in New York.
Yeah.
Catch a Rising Star was it. And Hicks is there, and we're hanging out. So David Brenner goes on, and he just slaughters them.
Oh, he was a killer.
He just killed. I mean, it's David Brenner. The audience is going fucking nuts.
It's funny you just did the movement, because that's his movement. You know what I mean? It's like,
So the audience goes, so Hicks is on after Brenner. Hicks walks on, and he opens up. He says, he goes, growing up as a kid, I'd watch Robert Klein, David Brenner, and I'm thinking if they could do it, I could do it. Right? That's his opening joke.
Yeah.
And then he starts doing a bit about Nancy Reagan, that anorexic cunt, and this and that. And the audience is flying out the door.
Oh.
Flying. Like somebody yelled fire. The girl after him I knew, she goes, what am I going to do? And, I mean, flying. And he's just being Hicks, And after the set, he comes to me and goes, what went wrong? He goes, he really didn't understand.
Right.
And then the guy that booked the room at the time, this is what ass kissers are and starfuckers, some people, he just had one of the worst sets, but it was still Hicks. people, and he goes, the booker said, you could work here anytime you want. He just emptied the fucking room.
Yeah.
Right? He
Yeah.
just emptied a room. But he was brilliant. I worked with him once in Lubbock, Texas. And we were in a 7-Eleven and something happened to him. I don't even remember. The next night he did like 10 minutes on it. And I'm going, this is I'll never be this funny as long as I live.
Yeah, right.
I'll never be this funny.
Yeah.
I think he just broke up with his girlfriend. He was miserable. So we got in a cab. He goes, come with me. I'm going to go get a hooker. Like they can't. So he went to the cab driver, take me to a hooker or whatever. So they would take you to their house. So the cab driver pulls up, and then Hicks walks up to the door. The lady opens the door, looks at him, goes, you're a cop, and slammed the door on him.
Oh.
Then he gets back in the car, and the cab driver takes him another place. And this makes sense. She opened the door and goes, you're too young, and slammed the door on him.
Oh.
The next night, he did 5 minutes on how hookers wouldn't fuck him in Lubbock, Texas.
Wow.
And it was so fucking funny.
Yeah.
You know, and people go, Hicks wasn't, he wasn't. He died at 33.
Yeah.
I mean, he was super young, and he would have been as good as any comic.
He would have been a monster. Also, his podcast around right now, would have been just next level. He would have just been rifling the whole political climate, you know.
Yeah, I mean, there was great political comics back then. Jimmy Tingle.
Right.
Will Durst.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Will Durst.
Out of San Francisco.
Yep.
But Hicks was fucking a killer act.
Oh, he had some fucking just genius bits. The Kennedy one really stuck with me because when I went to the library and he said they got a rope up because, they don't want you to say, no fucking way,
Yeah.
And I went on a private tour, so there was no rope. And I walked all the way up to the window, and that was the
Wait, where are you talking about it?
the assassination of JFK. So when you go to the library, the spot where they supposedly shot him, they have a rope where you can't get closer to see, like, he could have never shot,
Yeah.
And when he did the bit, I go, God damn, that's so funny, because that was the thing that rang in my head right when I was there. I was like, no fucking way,
Yeah, he was. I'll tell you, when I was booking my room, I hired this guy, John Mulrooney, just killer crowd work. He, matter of fact, took over for Joan Rivers on her talk show when she got fired from Fox or whatever.
Right.
He was just a killer act. It was funny when he took over her talk show. He walked out with a scratch-off lottery ticket. It's a good way to take.
Yeah, that's great.
But he killed. So I had him at my one-nighter, and he brought this opening act. And the opening act was sitting there going to me, I don't know if you know this, but I work Catch a Rising Star, and da-da-da. I go, well, you're here for $60 fucking.
Yeah.
And it was Richard Jenny.
Whoa.
Opening for Mulrooney.
Yeah.
And then I watched Jenny throughout the years. Unbelievable how good Richard Jenny was. I just did a show with these comics, didn't know who he was. I go, how can you not know who fucking Jenny is?
Yeah.
And Dennis Wolfberg, too, back then. You never seen someone kill like Dennis Wolfberg.
It's funny, I see his headshot all the time at the store.
Yeah.
Like when I'm getting ready to go on, I look over and there he is. He's got like the three-piece kind of the suit vest on.
I worked with him in Vegas at Bally's, Catch a Rising Star for a week. The nicest guy. And he would kill. I had him at my one-nighter. I had great acts. They all wanted to work. They were one-nighters.
Yeah, of course.
And so growing up, I would see guys like Wolfberg, Mulrooney, Jenny, everybody saw Pryor and Murphy.
Yeah.
But there were guys that were so fucking good.
Oh, yeah.
As comics. Some became showrunners or big stars or ended up quit. Who knows, and I love comics. That's how I met my first wife. I went to a one-nighter. I wasn't working. I went to see this guy, Paul Lyons, who was a comic friend. Did the best Barney Fife on the planet.
Oh, wow.
Impression.
Yeah.
And I went it was at a club right by my house. I go, Sunday night, let me go see Paul Lyons. And then I met my first wife. She was at the show.
Wow.
By herself. I'm going, why is she at her? Pretty beautiful. She looked like Christy Brinkley. And I don't know if we went out for coffee that night. No, well, I have 2 kids now with her. But, and if I didn't go see Paul, if Paul Lyons was not at this club, I might not have my 2 daughters.
Yeah.
My whole life would be different. You know, things work in mysterious ways if you believe in like a higher power
I do
or
believe
whatever.
in that. I believe in that big
Things
time.
work in mysterious fucking ways. You know, my first wife was pregnant, had a miscarriage, but then we had our 2 daughters after that. So if she never had that miscarriage, I would not have my 2 daughters that I have now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It would have been a whole different cycle.
Right, yeah.
Just a whole different, you know, I might have a son or whatever, who knows? You know, so things work in such mysterious ways. So even when I wasn't doing comedy, I was going to watch it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I studied it.
Same here.
I studied
I was
it.
at the Comedy Store in the back of
Yeah.
the room every night
Yeah.
till 3 a.m. I would just watch each guy. Watch how
Yeah.
each guy reset the room. I watch how each guy, some guys that didn't write, just did the same act forever. Other guys
Yeah.
that were writing constantly. I saw how people, you know, were different at 11 o'clock and 1:30, and just all the dynamics. And then I learned everybody's intro. And so when I eventually got past there, I knew everybody's intro. I know this whole fucking game. I've been
Yeah.
in here, you know?
When I work on the road and young comics don't come in to watch, I go, they're out of their fucking minds.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it's not ego, but I know what I'm fucking doing.
Yeah,
Believe me,
totally.
I know
Oh, it's
what I'm
crazy.
doing.
You know what I compare it to? I used to play music. I was like, you know, I'm watching these fucking crushers at the store every night for free.
Yeah.
And I'm getting a full master class.
Yes.
I'm like, this is like if I was playing music and Led Zeppelin said, just watch us every night at rehearsal.
Yes.
Just sit right here for free. You fucking crazy. Hell yeah, I'm going to be there. And that's how I treated it.
It's the same with the gym. I would ask questions.
Yeah.
Like people get personal trainers. I would just ask. I see guys out worked out or in shape. I go, does this do this or do I do it? And I would just, you learn. Same
Yeah.
with golf. I
Yeah.
ask questions or I watch videos on, you know. I mean, I take a
watch it.
lesson every now and then, but young comics that do not go in to see a headliner
Yeah.
are fucking. It's a free master class.
It's a free master class, man.
It's a free,
unbelievable.
and you're not taking advantage of it.
And then when you start opening for people like, say, Bill or Marin
Yeah.
or Diaz or these
Yeah.
guys I was opening for, every night I watched from minute 1 to minute 75 because
Yeah.
they weren't doing 60. They're doing 75,
Yeah.
you know. And I watched it all. I watched how they changed it up each night.
Yeah.
I watched when shit would go south. I go, oh, how'd he fix that? Or I go, ooh, he missed that part. Oh, cool. I'm watching everything.
I haven't watched comedy, you know, now. The last couple guys I watched Joey do an hour at Uncle Vinny's.
Yeah.
And because I love storytellers and me and Joey talk, and it's kind of like same type of background we have. You know what I mean? His is
Right.
a little darker.
Yeah.
But, you know, I watch him and then I watch this other guy. Oh, what's his name? He's so fucking funny. He ended up he used to be Anthony Cumi's sidekick. Then he went to this other right-wing radio show, Dave Landau.
Dave Landau.
Have you ever seen him?
I haven't.
So fucking, just his own voice and
Right.
delivery, you know. I sat for an hour. I'm going on watch. Another guy I watched for an hour here or 40 minutes, Dirty at 12:30. What the fuck's his name? He's so good. He was on Last Comic Standing. Tall guy. He used to have frizzy hair.
Oh, Chris Porter.
Yes.
He's fantastic.
I watched him. I'm
Fantastic.
going, you know, because I did a guest spot and I slaughtered.
Yeah.
And he went on. He had no problem.
Yeah.
And
Porter's a fucking monster.
And I'm watching him. And he, back in the Last Comic Standing days, he was just okay. You know, that was years ago.
yeah, he had the bell bottoms,
Yeah,
total
whatever.
different look now, you know.
And I'm watching. I'm going, this guy's a fucking amazing. He's slaughtering.
Smoker.
Kurt Metzger.
Smoker.
Slaughter.
Yeah.
Smoker. You know, obviously Stanhope, another level. Maria Banford, another level.
Yeah.
You know, certain comics now you watch, and there's this kid, Mike Racine, I think is really funny.
Yeah.
You know, out of the newer guys or girls. But, you know, because I don't watch comedy as much now as I did starting.
yeah, I
because
don't either because I'm just kind of,
Yeah.
I'm going to another spot.
Yeah, well,
Or, you know.
for me, I ad-lib so much.
Yeah.
I don't want to pick anything up.
Oh, fuck it. Heard that.
You know, I don't want to think,
Yeah.
oh, did I come up with that? Or, you know, there's stuff that I have that I go, well, I know I came up with it because it's on my CD from, you know.
Yeah.
But not saying I'm doing stuff from 4 CDs ago,
Right,
but,
yeah.
But if there's something, there is definitely parallel thinking. And the good thing about comedy, for me, I try to be as personal as if I'm talking about my kids, my wife, where I live,
Right.
Sobriety, it's original. It's me.
Yeah.
No one's doing it. It kind of drives me nuts when I talk about, and a comic goes up. It doesn't drive me nuts, but it's like, they don't have kids, and my sister's kids. Shut up!
Yeah,
you don't have fucking kids. Fuck off.
Yeah. Sidecard in a premise.
Yeah. Don't fuck off. I've never tell a comic before me what to do or what not to do. I don't care.
Yeah,
because they're there to see me, or I'm going to be able to follow them. Last time I was here, I was following a guitar act, killer, doing parodies, slaughtering. His stories were amazing. He used to open for Carlin.
Wow.
He used to open for Carlin, for Dangerfield, Dennis Blair. And he'd go on and guitar and kill. But I'd go on and sit down. And it was a whole different vibe.
Yep.
It was actually great because it was such a different vibe.
Total reset.
Yeah. And, just in New York, I can't tell you how many times I had to follow, Chappelle or Brewer or somebody at the Boston Comedy Club. And you're like, it only gets you stronger.
Oh my God! When Burr pops in or somebody big, and when they come in, people are like, I don't want to go on after him. I want to go on after him.
Yes,
because either I bomb and they go, oh, he went on after Burr, or you do great and they go, fuck, he went on after Burr and killed. You've got a free pass there.
I'd rather watch Raymond Burr than Bill Burr. Okay, fucking dumb Billy.
Oh shit, Bill! I'm sending this over, Bill.
Fuck, dumb Bill. Overrated boat act.
Let me ask you about the Cellar, because I got past there, I don't know, like 4 years ago or something, but,
she's made some wrong decisions.
Oh, fuck you!
So what do you want to...
But, I know the history of it, and I absolutely love the Room. And to me, it's like Comedy Store and the Cellar. Those are the prestigious comedy rooms. But, the Comedy Store had these big, dark, down day years, What was the Cellar like in the 90s? Were you hanging there going on? Or what's
I worked there for like 21 years.
Right.
So it was the end of the 90s, beginning of, 2000s. I think I saw a tape of me from 21, 22 years ago there. They were going through the archives. I just remember, when I got into the Cellar, like I was doing comedy for like 11 years or 15 years already.
Right.
But I was doing the road to support my kids. So I got separated. Now I had more time, and I would go into New York. But I already had 12 or 15 years, so I got into the clubs like that.
Right, because you were just seasoned.
I got into Caroline's, which was the biggest club back then.
Right. Isn't that weird now to think about?
It was so big. I mean, Caroline's, like that was one of the first clubs I got into. And I got into any club. The only one who gave me a hard time was Comic Strip Lucian.
Yeah.
Well, I'm like, fuck off. Are you crazy? And I remember one time working the Cellar, and I'm leaning on the piano, and I'm not having a good set. And I'm like, fuck you people. I work Caroline's. I said that.
Yeah.
And Esty was in the hallway. I didn't know it.
Oh, shit.
So I got like a 2-month fucking punishment or whatever. Like a 2-month punishment.
Yeah.
But once our crew.
Yeah. Keith.
Me, Keith, Patrice.
Yeah.
Bobby, Billy, Colin, Nick. And it grew. But that back table.
Yeah.
And we made it famous. We made it famous. Like comics and Kevin Hart. And comics wouldn't walk back there. They'll go, oh, fuck, this is, I'm
not going back there.
Not going back. I mean, we were fucking animals.
Yeah.
Animals. But it's so funny. And if we couldn't find somebody to attack, we'd attack each other.
Yeah, of course.
I remember walking in. I had like a little fever sore.
Yeah.
And Kevin Hart's banging on the table. Rich has herpes. Everybody started banging on the table, yelling, Rich has. You could hear it throughout the room. Voss has herpes. Voss, right? And they were banging it.
Yeah.
Billy one night was sitting at this story is so funny. I mean, so we're all back there. Billy walks in, and he said, I'm going to the World Series. It was the Mets versus the Yankees. We go, get out. How'd you get tickets? He goes, these guys hired me to do comedy on their bus, and they're giving me a free ticket.
Yeah.
Well, when he said he was doing comedy, our eyes lit up.
On a bus.
I'm telling you, late into Billy, sweat was pouring. He was sitting. The
He
bar,
knew he made the mistake.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, he was doing comedy on a bus.
Yeah, the bar, it was set up different. The bar came by the table.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it went in an L.
Oh, wow. Oh, down the side there. I got you.
It went up and then made a right.
Right.
And he was sitting there, and we were doing bits like the table would be there, and we go, you guys were great. Like we were walking down the stairs of the bus.
Down from the bus. Yeah,
down from the bus. And it was such a brutal beat. It was so funny. One night, and this is I say this on many podcasts. Patrice beat up Eddie If so bad. He came in all arrogant, and he goes to me, "What college is? How much you make, or what college is?" To me,
yeah,
like bragging. And Patrice called him Eddie Ugh. So for like an hour, Patrice just, Eddie comes from money. He had this, and I like Eddie. I get along with Eddie. I played golf with Eddie, but he walked in like some rich kid, and Patrice beat him down. Called him, "You work P University because you stink."
Yeah,
right? Whatever, something like that.
Yeah.
And we couldn't even get a word in edgewise. It was such. I was driving home. Norton called me. He was driving back to Jersey. We're laughing. I go, I can't stop laughing. This is the beatdown of. Matt Reese came in one night with this fucking horrible haircut. He wanted to fight all of us.
Oh my God. Yeah.
He wanted to fight us because we were just.
Yeah.
We were like sharks and just one speck of blood.
Oh yeah. Sniff on it.
Even after the table broke up, we were sitting there one night. Me, Bonnie, Keith, I don't know who else. And Russell Peters walks in with his entourage.
Yeah.
The nicest guy in the world is Russell Peters.
Yeah, yeah.
But he walks in with those Navy CPO jackets, but his went to his waist. It was a CPO jacket to his waist. And we looked at him and our eyes lit up. Right? And Keith started fucking attacking his jacket. And Bonnie said to him, "You look like the little boy on Boardwalk Empire." And we fucking laid into, and his whole crew wanted to laugh, but they were scared to.
Oh, yeah.
So it was a major trashing. The next night, Russell came in, and he was ready. He went home.
Yeah.
He prepared.
He studied up. Because he's pretty fast,
yeah,
too.
he came in the next
I've toured with him, and he's fast. He can come up with shit, but he was probably just like, oh,
my
no,
God.
I wore the wrong jacket. I look like Captain Steubing, club boat.
He came in blazing the next night. Well, calm down, Russell.
Yeah.
So that table, tough crowd. I guess Colin based it on that table or whatever. It was the most fun I've had in comedy. And then we'd have great discussions with Manny, political discussion.
Oh, yeah.
Just there was a point we would go to the projects and play basketball at the end of the night till like 4
by
in the
the
morning.
village there?
It was no, not that one.
Oh, okay.
It was down I think on 12th or 10th on the west side, and we would all go play. And Colin was good. Patrice was good. Kevin Hart was the best.
He kills.
This kid could play basketball. He could play basketball. He was so and then other comics would come in. Like there's one comic from the comic strip comes walking in with a basketball, and we're looking at him going, "What's this? What's he doing?
Yeah.
Does he think he's playing with us?"
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We were, I guess you could say we were bullies.
Yeah.
But it was all in fun, I think.
Well, what's funny about it is, and I said this early on, I think that people now get offended or they're bullies or whatever. But my whole life growing up, I realized something. If I wanted something and it was easy, I didn't want it anymore. So when I was hanging at the Comedy Store on the patio, I was 44 and didn't know anybody. And they were just like, look at this fucking ass, just ripping on. And then 5 years later, the first time I went to the cellar, even the door guys are like, what do you want? And I'm like, I'm a comedian, but you want it. And you're like, I'm going to get in there. I'm going to prove these guys wrong. It's not like bullies or whatever. You're like, hey, fuck this, man. I'm going to get ready and come back. And I came back.
I said something to some new comic, trash, whatever. And he went, "What's that about?" I go, "What?" Keith looked at what?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because there was a lot of comics that weren't into doing what we did, but we were just all street dudes,
right?
There were nights after the cellar, we would walk and stand in front of Boston Comedy Club, me, Keith, Patrice, and Norton, and sit out there for 2 hours smashing each other.
Yeah, man. I mean, we come from an era where you just capped on each other. It was capping, remember?
Yeah.
This guy was capping on my mama.
Yeah.
Your shoes, your fucking jacket, your hand-me-down clothes.
Snapping.
Yeah, snap. Yeah, all of that.
One night, me and Patrice were walking back to the car, and we stopped downstairs from Boston Comedy Club, and Ben Bailey and DC Benny were there. We smashed them, and they really think they won. Like, to this day, I say, we beat you guys up and just turned around and walked down. They go, "Oh, we killed you two." There's no possible way DC Benny and Ben Bailey could stand up against us verbally. And they really think they won that battle. We just walked in. I remember one night dropping Patrice off. I drove him back to Jersey City. I go upstairs and go to the bathroom. And we're walking down the street. And I go, no, he went first. He went, "I don't have a manager, an agent. I don't have a fucking thing going on in this business." I go, "You? I fucking stink. There's nothing happening. Nothing. I have no future." And we just both started cracking up and kept walking. We just started laughing.
It's weird comedy. I have that same feeling all the time, right? Isn't that weird? You're just like, but if you stay in long enough, I mean, look at the credits you got. Like, you did Last Comic Stand, and you got third place. You toured like crazy on that. You did one of the most iconic culty shows of all time.
Yeah.
Tough Crowd. You've got multiple specials. You've been in films, movies. But it's weird, right? Because you're just like, man, I got nothing going on. Here you are, 64. You're out here with me.
Yeah.
And you're totally relevant because you're not doing like, "Hey, Magnum PI, man," jokes like that, like I look at you and I go like, that's the type of guy I'm going to be when I'm 64. I'm going to wear cool clothes like you wear, Jordan 1s and shit. To me, I always thought you were just like 58, like I'm 56, you're 58, but 64, I was like, whoa, this fucking guy. And you've been doing comedy your whole fucking life.
Yeah, and one, I love doing creating. I do all my own albums,
right?
And to me, the industry's not throwing me shit.
Yeah, same here.
They're not giving me shit.
Yeah, we're old white dudes.
Yeah.
They don't want us.
I mean, I've done a lot of shit on TV,
but from friends.
Yeah, from friends. Or there's when I did Aspen, I killed and got stuff from that, and when I did the whole urban circuit, I did from the Apollo to BET, Def Jam. I did all that.
Yeah.
Because the industry, the urban industry, go, "Oh, this fucking guy can do what he." But then new guys come up, whatever. So and luckily I married a lady that's brilliant. We made our own movie. Our roast is probably one of the best roasts you'll ever see in the history of comedy. So you got to do things on your own. But my thing in this business, because fucking industry, is what, and I do have it, and it's not ego. I have respect for my peers.
Right.
That means more to me.
Oh yeah.
Than some fucking jamoke that runs a fucking Midwest fucking funny bone, or respect from my peers, and I respect a lot of my peers also.
And you're working the cellar right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't care.
I know, but I'm just saying,
I know.
It's one of the greatest comedy establishments of all time.
It's so weird. I was in L.A., and I'm not a Comedy Store regular.
Yeah.
Because I never one time I did a spot, Mitzi was there, and she goes, "Oh, this guy's funny, but he's sitting down." Like, I wasn't auditioning. I somehow was on. What's his name put me on? He used to work the door with the blonde hair.
Tommy.
Tommy loved me. Anytime I walk in, he put me. And my wife has her name on the wall, and I don't, which kind of pisses me off. So I was doing a show there in the big room. I don't know what show or why I was on it.
Right.
And I'm kidding. This black dude in the audience started fucking with me. Big dude. He goes, "In my book, you're funny." I go, "What's that, a cookbook, you fat fuck?" Or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And Well, I didn't know Chris Rock was in the audience.
Yeah.
So I get back to New York, and a couple weeks later, some girl comes up to me and goes, "Oh, we heard rumors, or you're going to be on writing for the Oscars." I didn't pay attention to it. So I'm standing outside stand-up New York one night, and Chris comes out, and Chris goes, "So you're on the team writing for the Oscars?"
Whoa.
And I go, "Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it." He goes, "I'm the host, I'm telling you."
Yeah,
And I
wow.
didn't believe him.
Wow,
I didn't
yeah.
believe him. So I wrote on the first Oscars. I'll tell you a funny story about the. And then I wrote some good stuff, and I got on the second time.
Wow.
Then he used me on a couple movies, writing, punching up. So
Yeah.
I got to work on 2 Oscars.
That's fucking cool shit.
So
Taylor.
I was backstage at the first Oscars. So like I said earlier, I did this show, American Dreams, where I play Lenny Bruce.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm backstage, and Dustin Hoffman's talking to Barbara Streisand.
Oh, amazing.
So
Amazing.
So I walk up, and I kind of turn my back to Barbara Streisand, and I go to fucking Dustin Hoffman. I go, "I also played Lenny Bruce, right?" I compared my 4 lines to his Oscar-nominating performance. Okay.
Yeah,
And I go, "Well, I really played you playing Lenny." And I walked away. I go, "I hate myself."
Yeah.
I turn my back to Barbara Streisand to tell him I also play. Oh, hey, this is what we have in common, Dustin. Me and you are on the same level.
Well, it's a weird thing, right? Like when you see somebody really fucking respect, and you don't know how to get in, but you want to. It's such a fucking weird animal.
Yeah.
You're like, you don't want to say big fan.
Yeah. Ugh.
And yeah, that's the gross big fan, but you also you saying I also played Lenny Bruce is ridiculous too.
As stupid as anything.
So
to say.
dumb, right? And they're like, and so it's really hard because really these people have provided us with some inspiration that has made us get up and do what we're doing.
Yeah. Well, I stood outside stand-up in New York one night, and Robin Williams walks out.
Yeah.
And I go, "Where do I know you from?" He started. That was the best thing I could have said to him.
That's some funny shit, right?
Yeah.
Like I met Dylan, and I was like, "Man, it's gonna be cold tonight." And he's like, "I never thought of that," And my buddy was like, "Yeah, he probably loved that. It was like normal talking, not like your songs changed my life,"
Ugh, yeah. Like, what am I gonna do?
It's hard,
I
man.
don't even shake. I'll never walk in with. "Can I shake your hand?"
Yeah.
The dumbest thing I did, one that was besides Lenny Bruce, I was at a golf course in L.A., and it's when I was on Last Comic, and Don Cheadle comes up to me. His friend was the director, and Cheadle comes up to me. He goes, "I love you on the show. You're really good. I'm friends with Chuck, the director." And he goes, "You're really funny." And I go, "Can we take a picture?" And his eyes dropped. Like I went from fucking peer to groupie.
I know.
I didn't know, and I felt
It's
like
weird though, because I always want to picture like Norton,
Yeah, but
like Norton's got $1 million. But the real reason in the last 20 years why I want the photos is I don't remember shit.
Yeah, that's true.
I swear. So I can go through my shit and go, "Oh fuck yeah, I forgot I was at this concert. This is good," and I don't remember nothing. It's not like, "Look at this," because it's not like we went out for 2 weeks hanging out. It was like 2 seconds on a street corner, but it makes me remember life.
I got a picture with Don Rickles. I was at a festival.
Killer.
I was at a festival. I guess when I worked on different roasts, I took pictures with Barry Levinson, this guy, that guy. But I think Rickles, to me, means the most, a picture with him.
Oh, man.
That was kind of cool. I don't collect autographs. I get them and I give them to Norton.
Oh, yeah.
I got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for Norton. I've got them a lot. The ones I think I have John Daly somewhere at home, the golfer, and Diana Ross's, I think. But I always get them for Norton because she collects that shit.
Yeah.
I just got my daughter all these Hall of Fame Yankee or Met players.
Oh, right.
On a hat. I took one of my I was at a golf tournament, and they were there. And I gave them to her. She's a Yankee fan, and I'm going, "Fuck, man, now I got to get another hat." I blew my hat for my dumb kid. I gave away one that I shouldn't have gave away, which I had Earl Monroe's autograph, who I loved.
Who?
Earl Monroe, basketball player.
Wow, yeah.
Bullets, then the Knicks. And he was my tied for him and Pistol Pete were my favorite players back in the day. And I gave his autograph to Opie, because he was a basketball fan, and I gave Anthony I had Yogi Berra and Phil Rizzuto's autograph on a baseball.
Wow.
And when I was doing their radio show, which I don't even bring up anymore because it's just a black cloud in my life. Nowadays.
Yeah.
At the time, it was great.
Yeah.
I mean, they were in 16 markets, and so I gave away a couple, but I mainly get autographs for Norton because he collects them.
You were going to a lot of concerts back in the day, right? I mean,
everybody.
Yeah, same here. I seen them all.
Everybody.
Were you paying or were you getting in? What was going on?
Well, yeah, there was one time we were sitting on my friend's porch. It was like a summer day or spring warm day. We go, what are we going to do? And one of them goes, there's some band playing behind Kane College, free hot dogs and beer. We go, free hot dogs and beer, let's go.
Yeah.
And it was Springsteen.
Whoa.
And it might have been 50 people, 100 people.
Whoa.
You could walk right up to the stage.
Wow.
And I'm going, these guys are pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
I'm going, listen to the sax player. We're getting our hot dogs and beer. And like maybe the next year they exploded.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I hosted Woodstock 99.
I know, that's cool. How'd you get that gig?
I don't fucking know.
Really?
I don't know. They just hired me. I was supposed to work this club, Catch a Rising Star in Princeton.
Right.
Shit. And I get a call to host Woodstock.
Yeah.
So I call them. I go, look, I can do Thursday. I can't do Friday and Saturday. I'm hosting Woodstock. And the guy got mad. I go, I'm hosting the biggest concert in the history of the world.
Yeah.
So I went Thursday night to do the Thursday. And I go to the guy, can you pay me in cash? Because I don't trust you're going to pay me. And he yelled at me.
Oh.
I did it. And then Friday I drove. And I did there was the East Stage. That was the crazy. Brother Weiss, a radio host from Rochester, and Tom Papa hosted that stage.
Tom Papa, yeah.
They hosted that stage. I was on the West, the second biggest stage. Like, they couldn't do anything. There was bottles being thrown, and I got to go up and do, fuck around. And it was my stage. They asked me if I wanted to do the big stage. I go, this is good enough. Because there was, I have an audio tape. I had the whole audience. It might have been about 50,000 people.
Yeah.
I had them all yell at once. Hi, Jessica, hi, Ellen, to my daughters.
Yeah.
So I got a count of three. I want the whole audience to yell, hi, Jessica, hi, Ellen. And then you have like 50,000 people yelling, hi, Jessica.
Were you camping out there or hotel?
Hotel.
Yeah.
I walked into my dressing room. Okay, so it was a trailer. The dressing room was a big trailer.
Right.
But it was one big room with couches, this and that. Then a little room with just a reclining chair. That was the bands were in the fucking big part. And I had this. So I walk back into my dressing room, and I'm smoking a cigarette, and some guy's in my part. He goes, can you put that out? I go, fuck off. This is my dressing room.
Yeah.
I go, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Right? And then they go, it was the lead singer, the Buck Cherry. Right?
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
He apologized later.
Yeah.
But I go, this is the best band on my stage. These
Yeah.
guys are fucking great.
That killer, right?
Great. And I went out and bought his album, so he won in the long run.
Yeah.
But,
You see Blind Melon?
they weren't, I don't think they were on my stage.
Not on your stage, but they played. Were you seeing any of the bands on the
I
big
went
stage?
over to the big stage, I don't remember. I think Alanis Morissette might have been
Right,
on.
yeah.
Yeah, she was going on. But
Yeah.
it was too crazy over there.
Yeah, totally.
I just went back to my stage. Or, I'd walk around. Woodstock 94, like 30 of us from New York went up there to host Woodstock 94, the little stages.
Right, yeah.
Me, Norton, Florentine, Lee, all these comics. Took two buses up there, and we did the little stage. We never got paid, but we had so much fun on 94. And I remember, I'm in recovery, sobriety, and I just felt disconnected with the whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm amongst all these people. And then there was a 12-step meeting.
At the play?
Yeah. So I went to it. It was 24 hours, and I'm at this 12-step meeting listening to Crosby, Stills, Nash.
Whoa.
It was so fucking cool.
Yeah, that
it
is
was so
cool.
And the funniest thing, I mean, we were staying in these circus tents in 94, the size of a fucking football stadium.
Wow.
All the performers, these dancers from African
Just like on
dancers.
cots or something?
On sleeping bags.
Whoa, wow.
They gave us all sleeping bags.
Whoa.
So every morning we get up, and there was this, I think, an African dancer. And everyone, he'd wake up with a rod that was about a foot long, and we would just wake up staring at his fucking rod, right? Just amazed at how big this fucking thing was. So one night we would eat in the, where all the entertainers ate, and one day there was beef stew or whatever. So all the people would get off the buses, walk down this dirt road to the site. They would pass like 10 outhouses. So Norton took the beef stew and he put one foot in the outhouse and one foot out with the door open, and he's eating the beef stew going, it's not that bad once you try it.
Oh, fuck.
And people are walking by just we're dying laughing. It's so fucking
That's
funny.
so Norton. You guys ought to try this, man. Eat your own shit.
It's not bad.
Oh, my God.
And I remember Don Jameson was on stage and a bottle of piss came flying past his head. Somebody threw. We're doing these little stages.
Yeah.
He had to go on, and Melissa Etheridge is in the background just fucking killing.
Yeah.
So we did, there was like 4 or 5 little stages, and we would just go do them, and we had so much fucking fun.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, so much fun. I have a picture from back then, a long ponytail. I was my shirt off. I was fucking ripped. Florentine was sitting there, and it was me, Florentine Norton. We're just hanging out. And it was so much. That's when Jeff Ross came up with those poems. Remember we used to do those poems?
Yeah.
That's where he came up with them.
Wow.
There.
Old days, man.
Yeah, that was so.
It's fucking 94.
It was so much fun.
We're in 2022 right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, wow.
Oh, wait, yeah. So that was 28 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I've only been doing comedy 12 years. You started on the year I graduated, 84.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit, man.
Yeah, so 99 was cooler because I'm hosting the big stage.
That's fucking wild.
Oh,
dude.
I'll tell you something really cool. I got, you look back, some of the coolest things. I got a call, and they're doing a concert next to the Washington Monument.
Oh, yeah.
It was a drug awareness concert to let the politicians know that kids are dying, ODing. And
Yeah.
so
I think that's still going on right now.
Yeah, so they asked, it's crazy
it's
in school.
nuts, dude.
So they asked me the last minute to host it. They did a comedy show the night before, and they asked me to host a show. So I'm hosting it, and which is great. And there's probably 15,000 people. But I did 10 minutes, I did a lot of recovery material and stuff. And I got to do, and then bring on, it was, what's his name from Aerosmith?
Stephen Tyler?
Steven Tyler.
Wow.
Alanis Morissette.
Yeah.
Some band, The Fray, I think.
What are they?
The Fray, Frey or something.
I don't know them.
I don't know. It's just
Right.
And I think the drummer from the Eagles. What's his name? Do you know the drummer from the Eagles?
Don Henley?
Maybe
Well, he's
it's
the drummer singer, yeah. But when he's not singing, another guy plays.
Yeah, this guy I think was from the Eagles. But anyhow, I got to bring them on stage, and at the end, and there was just a bunch of famous. And I'm watching Steven Tyler.
Oh, yeah.
And he wasn't doing Aerosmith songs. He was doing his own shit.
Right.
Just fucking killing on stage. And then at the end, they all went out together and sang the Beatles' Come Together.
Wow.
Alanis Morissette, Steven Tyler, all these bands. There was a choir from D.C.
Wow.
And it was fucking amazing.
That's killer, man.
It was amazing.
15,000 people just out there. It's so
Just
weird to do
killer.
comedy at rock shows, right?
Yeah. When I did my set, it was earlier.
Right.
And there was one VIP area, a lot of people in recovery. So I got to do some stuff that people were getting. You know what I mean?
Right.
I got to do a set, basically. And then and I have a picture. I was on the big screens.
Oh, yeah.
The size of, a fucking 5-story building on each
Like
side.
Live Aid type shit.
Yeah, on each side.
Yeah.
Me, I was a drug addict.
Yeah.
I was a crack addict.
Yeah.
Look what I'm fucking doing. Next to the Washington Monument, I'm going, this is fucking amazing. And getting stupid money.
Yeah.
I'm going, this is fucking amazing that this is happening.
It's funny you called it freebase because that's the age we are. When we were growing up, it was freebase.
Yeah.
And and then later it was just named crack.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, that's just the same thing. Who rebranded it? You know?
Well, that's because they sold it in little, and it would crack in the pipe.
Right,
when
right.
you lit it.
Yeah.
And I call it, whenever I talk, I say freebase because it's a little classier than crack.
Yeah.
But I was a crack addict.
Yeah. Freebase. It's so funny. I remember this one guy, he could make crack. He would make it at the AM, PM in the microwave. Because you'd make it in that like jar or whatever, and then he'd put it in the microwave, heat it up, pow, it'd become a rock.
Yeah.
That's weird how you put the baking soda in there.
There's many different ways to cook it. Yeah.
That's the way the guys did it around me. It was baking soda, you kind of heat it up, and all of a sudden it became this pure rock.
You could do it with that. Well, I don't want to get into it, but I remember one of my drugs. So I was in Harlem. I say this, I talk about it on stage. It's on one of my albums. It's a true story. I had no money. I don't know whose car I had, and I'm going to cop in Spanish Harlem, and I pull up on this guy. I go, what do you got? And he showed me like 4 or 5 vials of crack, and I snatched his hand. He punched me twice in the head. After he hit me twice, like he was quick, and I didn't really feel it because I was on like a 2-week run or whatever.
Right.
So I pull away. I'm hitting cars on the side of it. I didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And I get down the road and I throw in the pipe and I hit it and it was soap.
Oh.
It was. So the joke is, I pull back on him. I go, you don't rip me off when I'm ripping you off. I go, why did you punch me over soap?
Yeah. It's free. It's like it didn't cost you nothing.
You
just
hit me
like
over
drive
soap.
on. Yeah.
But
it's just the point of it. You're robbing me.
That was the joke. After I was fucking so depressed that I just fucking stole soap from somebody.
Oh my God.
I had a million drug stories that are horrible, but you go from that, and I go, I got 3 daughters, a grandkid.
Yeah.
My kids grew up to be great. They have houses, good jobs.
And you're still doing comedy.
And I'm still doing what I love doing comedy.
I know.
Are you kidding me?
That's the win, dude.
Yeah.
That's the win. Like I told people that, I'm not doing this to get famous. I never thought my name would be on the Comedy Store wall.
Yeah.
Or I'd be working at the Cellar with like Keith Robinson. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, what are you, crazy? I've already won.
I think you could have used a better example. But when I worked the MGM in town here,
Yeah.
I'm on the big billboard. I mean,
Isn't
the
that
side
crazy,
of the. Do you
dude?
know how that's 10 stories high?
It's fucking crazy.
My fucking picture at when I do Brad Garrett's room.
Yeah.
10
On the strip,
on the
dude.
strip.
It's nuts.
Why can't they film a movie?
Yeah.
And get that shot?
Yeah, at that particular time, man.
Yeah.
It's wild, man, to see your
Yeah.
fucking face on the strip, dude. I mean, that shit is
Yes.
nuts.
Me and Bonnie worked the Palms years ago. They had comedy, and we had our own billboard, not on the strip, but on a billboard. I'm going.
Yeah.
I got a fucking billboard.
That's fucking crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
It is, dude. I remember the first time I was coming from L.A., drive down the strip, and there my face was on the Laugh Factory, humongous. And I was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? You know what I mean? It's like, this is Vegas. This ain't fucking Oklahoma or something. This is Las Vegas. 1 million people come here a day.
Yeah.
And your face is up there, man.
It was the one at the MGM is so big. I got a picture on my
great.
phone.
It's on the corner.
It's on the corner. I'm going, what the fuck?
Yeah, I love it.
And before my mom died and my dad's 93, they saw me get clean.
Yeah.
Do you know? I mean, I was a fucking full-blown drug addict.
Right.
They saw me. I gave them grandchildren, So before my mom died, she saw me with a house, my second wife, my first wife, grandkid,
Yeah.
So they got to see me because I know people that get clean and their families are gone, and
Yeah,
their
too
family,
late.
Too late.
They go to the grave with those bad memories.
My parents saw me on TV on Last Comic and other, mainly Last Comic because that was the first season. It was fucking big that first season.
Huge.
It was big. And, my relatives, I was the black sheep of the family.
Yeah.
I mean, our whole family, me, my brother and sister, like my cousins, they all had good money. They all went to school. They were all became lawyers, doctors. So we were the family. They were married, my cousins, their families, their parents. My mother was divorced. So at the family dinners, we were the fucked up family.
Oh, yeah.
And I was the black sheep of the fucked up family.
Yeah.
So now
crackhead.
So now all my aunts and uncles and cousins are seeing me on TV.
Yeah.
Can
you get me tickets?
Yeah. But it's not the last laugh. It's rewarding that, what I put people through, that I got to make amends to them in life. Whether I said sorry or not,
Right.
a lot of the amends were just doing the right thing also.
Well, just being clean is
Just
the
being-
amends, man.
yeah, just
no
being-
more weight on their shoulders. Like,
Yeah.
oh, God, here comes Vos. He might steal from us. He's going to
Yeah.
ask for money.
Guaranteed.
Totally.
I remember going to my father's house. He lived in New York. Like 10 o'clock at night, I call him. I go, I need $20 to get a gallon of paint to finish this paint job because I
Yeah.
still painted.
Yeah.
And he had to know. Really?
Oh, yeah.
He had to know. And he gave me the $20, and I just went and got high. And one of the lowest points, and I mean, there was a lot of low points. I was in a bar, just fucking all done and fucking, and I'm sitting there drinking 40-cent beers. I had maybe 80 cents for 2 beers.
Yeah.
No way to get back to Jersey. I would get on the train with just 80 cents or $1. And some girl comes up to me and she goes, "Can I buy you a beer?" I go, "Yeah." She goes, "You got to go get it." And she handed me a $20 bill, and I walked up to the bar, and then I ran out the door, and I just took her $20 bill.
Oh,
And it was probably the lowest point.
yeah.
I mean, you can't get any
Yeah,
fucking
just robbing someone that was offering to buy you a beer.
and it was just such a low point in my life, and luckily, I got clean and or whatever, and a lot of my friends in this business are clean. I hang out with a lot of people, and, I turned it around, luckily.
Yeah.
I wish I could say it about gambling, but although I did win $450 last night and walk away from the table.
Oh, my God. You were out gambling last night downstairs?
Yeah. I won and I went back to my room.
Oh, the winner.
Yeah.
The winner.
So, yeah, I mean, look, great as my life is, this fucking business just keeps you going, shit, I got to get to another level or do this or that.
Yeah.
But the good thing about this business, when we talk about the industry, club owners, managers, agents, none of them can take your creativity away.
Right.
Only you control your own creativity.
Yeah.
You could put out your own albums.
Better than
You
ever
could
now.
Yep.
YouTube.
Yeah. Do whatever you want.
Download, streams.
Yeah.
Fucking look at you, man. You got all these albums.
Yeah.
And they're on Sirius XM.
Yeah.
Stuff you did years ago, collecting money.
Yeah.
Checks here and there. They just come. You're like, wow.
Yeah.
And,
You don't need them anymore. There's stuff you
Yeah.
want to do with them.
Right.
But you could look at fucking Schultz or Tim Dillon or any of these guys.
Oh, yeah. Dude.
Just fucking killing it.
Yeah.
I hear this guy Rogan's doing okay. I don't know him.
Yeah. Yeah. He's up and coming. I mean, it's just... I think
crazy.
it really also comes down to, weird timing. Like, all of a sudden the people get it. Because a ton of people, like, we can just say, yeah, you put your stuff on YouTube and you'll be like Schultz, or Tim Dillon and doing theaters. But that's not the case.
No.
It takes the right timing, and then all of a sudden people are talking to other people, and people are this, and then next thing you know, it's boom, it's rolling.
But also, too, those guys, they're an exception to the rule because they're also funny.
Yeah.
But it's almost a full-time job.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Doing what they do.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the videos. I mean, Tim Dillon would
full-time
hire
job.
crews and do videos. It's a full-time, And, okay, I look at them as comics, but there's also people that are comics, but they're really podcasters.
Right.
I was talking to
totally.
Bonnie. I was talking to Bonnie the other day, and I go, what the fuck did these people get this or that? She goes, they're podcasters. We're comics.
Yeah.
We're comics that do a podcast.
That's it.
They're
It's totally
podcasters that do comedy.
That's true, too. And they go out, and it's
Yes.
rough for them on stage.
Yeah. So, our podcast is a little bonus. It's whatever. But we
tell
focus.
everybody what it's called.
My wife hates me. My wife hates me on Laugh, but I know all that shit. Whatever. I'm not, fuck off. But, we did one today. It was horrific. It's just, we go, why are we putting this out? We go, what the fuck? It was on Zoom, and I'm in my room. And she's,
bad signal.
Yeah. And then we had nothing funny, and it was 6 a.m. I was 7 a.m. I was half asleep. And she goes, you stink. But yeah, we're comics that do a podcast, and there's podcasters that do comedy.
Yeah.
And there's also podcasters that are good comics.
Oh, yeah.
That are,
Totally.
really good comics.
Absolutely.
That fucking, do podcasts.
Yep.
I listen to, whatever. I don't want to. It's so big now. Like I don't listen to podcasts only because there's too many, and where am I?
Right.
I just
I don't
turn
listen
on
to them
Sirius.
either. I'm busy doing them or writing or doing comedy.
Yeah, I mean, even in the car, I listen to Sirius, to whatever, sports, golf, Howard, whatever I listen to, because if I start getting, I won't stop.
Yeah.
I won't stop.
Yeah.
And, because there's so many guys and girls that I like so much and respect as comics.
Yeah, so all of a sudden you're listening to like 40 hours of podcast a week.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, Jesus, I can't start this now.
Yeah.
I would never listen to mine. Forget it. I'd rather hear, my wife with a football team than listen to anything I do.
Yeah.
So whatever. I love doing podcasts. I do other people's.
Yeah.
I get emails all the time. Do my podcast. Shut up. You got 8 followers on Twitter.
Oh, I know. It's so weird. I see that, and they're like, I see you're coming to town.
Yeah.
We got a podcast, and we want to talk to you about how you played rock and roll, but now do stand-up. I go, oh, yeah, just listen to the Rogan one or the Marin one or the Pete Holmes one or the, I already covered that story.
Yeah. I feel bad. I didn't ask you any questions about rock. I just talked. I'm such a fucking narcissist and self-centered.
I'm interviewing you.
Yeah, but I should be asking a couple questions about, I fucking suck. That's why my wife hates me, everybody, because it's just all about me. I'm sitting there talking about me the whole,
That's
fucking
what the show is, dude.
Huh? No, it's gross. I never once said, so what instrument did you play or what band or did you... maybe because I don't give a fuck.
Right,
but still,
exactly. I'm the same way.
I didn't ask one question. I suck. I hate myself.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Oh, God.
Thanks for doing the show, dude.
I'm just trying to kill time.
I hear you.
What the fuck? I'm going to go after this. I'm leaving. I'm doing the Soundman's podcast.
It's hilarious.
And the guy that does the lights here has a podcast. I might do his.
I'm going to do the guy that he calibrates the slot machines. Having him on next. So
his podcast is great.
It's blowing up.
Especially when you say something good, he goes ding, 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 ding.
Ding, 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 ding.
No, thank you for having me. Sorry if I was too self-centered and
fuck now, man. Thanks for doing it. You got an Instagram?
Yeah. So
tell everybody. Tell everybody what it is.
Rich. Oh, what's my Instagram? Oh, it's Legend Rich Vos Legend. They switch. They don't give me a blue check because something to do with Facebook. It's the same name. So I had to change the name to Rich Vos Legend.
Dumb. Yeah, so it matches.
So it's different than Facebook.
Oh.
I mean, I got a blue check on Twitter. I don't have one on Instagram, which I don't really give a fuck.
Yeah.
But I think it's Rich Vos Legend. Twitter's rich.vos. And Facebook is go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
I'm so old. I sit on Facebook all night and just read stories. I don't even go to Instagram that much. Because then I'll start going, oh, look what this fucker's doing. How did he get this?
Keeping score, man. That'll fucking knock you out. In a hotel room in Vegas with fucking cold, no heater.
Yeah.
You're like, this motherfucker just sold out a theater?
A theater?
The fuck? He was on my podcast. No one knew him.
Yeah, he used to open for me.
Yeah. That was classic.
I whatever.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
And all right, man.
Lose my number. Thank you.
We got shows tonight and all week. Great working with you.
Yeah.
And I'll see you in New York in like March or something.
Hey, listen though, I don't want to sound like an ass, but if I'm sitting at the back table, kind of don't I don't want you to act like we're best friends. You know what I mean? Hey, Mr. Vos. That's a good way to start it.
Hey, Mr. Vos. Hey, dude, big fan. Big fan.
Can I take a picture with you?
I'll tell you what, man. It's so funny, that back table. Like, even when I was passed, I didn't sit at the back table for a while. I was like, no, Keith's like, what are you doing, man? Get over here. Like, I don't know about that.
Do we ever go after you?
Sometimes, yeah, but it's fucking part of the thing. It was never like, it's bullshit. I was like, yeah, they're coming at me. Killer.
It's all good. Thanks for having me. I love your studio too.
Check out the decor here, huh?
Yeah. This is, oh, Jesus, you can feel the ghost of Sammy Davis in this room.
I know. Oh, my God. There's just so much semen floating around here we can't see.
That's why in my room I made sure I licked everywhere to make sure it wasn't. I'll talk to you later. Thanks.
All right, man. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Let there be talk, and don't forget to check out Rich Vos out on the road around America, and thank you all for your support. See ya.